Many of you may be wondering why I think TikTok should be banned. Well, not so much banned, but at least divested from China. You see, I've been talking about it quite a bit, and this story exemplifies it oh so perfectly. Non-binary elected official takes month-long mental health leave after being misgendered in Massachusetts City Council. The first South Asian non-binary elected official in Massachusetts filed a complaint with Worcester's DEI office over misgendering. Okay. TikTok, for a long time, has been an extremely woke platform. This country is sick. Wokeness is bad for this United States and for its young people. And TikTok is an unaccountable platform that largely propped this stuff up. I'll give you one piece of anecdotal evidence. It is Dylan Mulvaney, an individual who got 10 million followers or whatever. And if you take a look at the early history of this individual, you can see the content originally created nothing to do with being trans, which, as the creator, Mulvaney, started producing different videos, eventually made one coming out as non-binary, which got a lot of traction. Then made another one about being trans, and it got way more traction. That's indicative of an algorithmic push, meaning you can argue that we can put it two ways. TikTok operates in such a way that those that show interest in a thing create an algorithms, basically give the algorithm the tell it, show more of this thing, right? However, considering it is illogical, makes no sense, and we can see from LexisNexis data that it was propped up, it appears to be more likely algorithmic by choice. My assumption is that the TikTok algorithm chooses those things to prop up. Now, maybe it's because they think it's popular, or maybe it's because they're poisoning the mind of young people. Either way, it's poisoning the mind of young people. How can you have an elected official take a month-long leave over being misgendered? Well, social media is poisoning the minds of young people. That's it. And I guess people make the argument, they're saying, Tim, you're saying people are too stupid to figure things out for themselves. No, I'm saying advertising works. If it didn't, Coca-Cola would stop spending billions of dollars on ads. See, the idea is you put something in front of somebody, they know it exists. Now, I believe in free speech, for sure. I don't think we need algorithmic advertising on crackpot ideologies that make our young people mentally unwell. But let's read the news for you guys. Before we get started, smash the like button, share the show with everyone you know, and head over to timcast.com and click join us. You know why? Well, we need your support. As a member, you make it all possible. You really do. Our members-only Discord has a litany of extra content. Our members have a morning show, a pre-IRL show, an after-dark show. You get so much amazing stuff when you become a member. You also get access to the uncensored members-only shows. Check it out. Daniel Negreanu. That was awesome. We talked poker a little bit too much. But you make it possible for us to do the show as a member. So go to timcast.com, join the movement, make friends. We've got over 20,000 people in the Discord server. You can hang out with them. They will be your friend. Here's a story from the Post-Millennial. A non-binary South Asian city councilor in the city of Worcester, Mass, has decided to take a full month off over alleged misgendering. Oh, it's alleged as well. From others on the council. Councilor at large, Thu Nguyen, has claimed that transphobia and discriminatory and toxic culture has forced Nguyen to leave their position and take a month's leave. This came after a debate during Tuesday night's city council meeting that addressed remote participation by some of those on the council. Nguyen prefers to be referred to as they, them. Nguyen has, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, has been attending meetings remotely and, per the Telegram and Gazette, called the council unsafe during a discussion regarding their frequent remote attendance. The debate followed Mayor Joseph M. Petty's filing of an order asking for the public hearing to review the limitations and options of the remote participation of public officials. Nguyen attended the Tuesday meeting discussing remote attendance remotely. In video, Nguyen can be seen wearing a keffiyeh, a scarf representing affiliation with the Palestinian cause against Israel.
That city councilor filing a complaint with Worcester's Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and they're taking a month-long break. They say it's for emotional and mental safety. Worcester City Councilor at Large Tu Nguyen taking a month-long mental health break, accusing the mayor and council of a toxic culture. Nguyen uses the pronouns they, them, and says it's not safe to show up to meetings in person.
I really wished I felt safe enough to show up on the...
What are you talking about, safe enough? Enough! Stop entertaining this. Nobody feels unsafe, okay? There's no threat to anyone's safety. Stop entertaining it. Tell them if you do not show up, you will be expelled from this body. I'm sick of this stuff. We need a dad in this country. Seriously, a father is going to be like, sit down and shut up and do your job.
The council floor. But I don't.
Last night, when talking about remote participation, Nguyen accused the mayor and another councilor, Kathleen Toomey, of using the wrong pronouns. Nguyen also says Councilor Candy Merrow Carlson repeatedly called them it.
I have faced transphobia with being misgendered and recently learned that I have been dehumanized to a point where I'm being referred to as it by my colleagues on this council.
Councilor Toomey says early on when the councilor was elected, I did make an honest error in addressing the councilor and may have done so a few times, for which I apologized. There has never been any intentional or consistent misgendering. I have been mindful to address the councilor respectfully in the manner in which they identify over the past 3 years.
I have spoken with city staff who've confirmed that
we are not a serious people, my friends. You see, listen, if we're going to keep allowing a foreign adversarial nation to effectively leaflet in this country all day, every day to 100 and some odd million people, there's an essence. I saw one report saying 170, but one website said 112. Let's just call it 170. That was in the news, right? We are not a serious people. China doesn't allow us to do this to them, and we allow them to do it to us. And this is what you get.
Councilor Nguyen was referred to as an it.
So what?
By a councilor.
Councilor Christian King troubled by what he's heard.
I condemn and disavow any sort of political hostility based on someone's being.
Now, Councilor Merrow Carlson telling us, while I do not recall making the statements in question, I acknowledge that it was a challenging and emotional week where difficult conversations took place. These claims, however, misrepresent my character, my record, and the values I have consistently upheld. We did reach out to the mayor, and we also reached out to Councilor Nguyen, but did not hear back from either. The city manager's office confirms an investigation is underway.
Amazing. You know what I love? I want to say this, white people, you make it really hard to defend white people. You know what I'm saying? I'm kidding, by the way. But it's funny because you've got white conservatives that are like, these leftists hate white people. And I'm like, have you ever listened to them? If you, let me put it this way. I pulled up this chart years ago. It was a viral chart showing that white liberals are the only group with an outgroup preference. Another chart emerged recently that showed liberals actually they empathize with inert objects. I'm not exaggerating, okay? Conservatives tend to care about friends, family, and people, and liberals tend to care about inert objects. That's what the study said. My friends, did you ever ask yourself why it is that white liberals have an outgroup preference? How would you feel about white people if you were surrounded by a bunch of white liberals all day? You'd probably be like, man, these white people are crazy. What's wrong with everybody? That's exactly what's happening with so many of these people. Don't get me wrong. This lady's not white, and she has this crackpot ideology all the same. I'm kidding, by the way. But the joke is that liberals surround themselves with each other and they despise each other. So they're sitting there pretending like they care about each other while trying to one-up each other on wokeness, and it turns into this garbled nonsense. A month of leave. You know what I say to Massachusetts? It's Massachusetts, dude. It's a liberal bastion. They deserve all of it. Dude, if it was me, I'd put my feet up on the table. Oh, you can't actually see my feet. I'd put my feet on the table and I'd say, oh my, does it have a problem with the way that I speak? Well, there's nothing it can do. Like, you want to play dirty games and insult me and impugn my honor? It goes both ways, lady. I can play any game. Oh man. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just accidentally. See, it just happens. I'm not going to sit here, okay? I'm not going to sit anywhere. Anybody who comes to me and tries to impugn my honor thinks they get a freebie, a free pass. They can insult me. I'll give a shout out to Amber Duke because she was on The Hill Rising, and This woman was like, you have Nazi writings. And then Amber Duke basically said, I refuse to do the show with her ever again. Based. Don't sit there and take it. Massachusetts City Council is going to sit there and say, well, I don't understand. I mean, I didn't do this. It does not reflect my character. If it were me, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds like something I would say. I'll say it again. Is your recorder on? It is mad at me because of words that I used. I wonder if it's going to cry. Like, dude, come on, get out of here. Look, I try to be nice to people, but I'm going to make a point on this. This person is a bully and abusive. You don't get to be abusive and accuse other people and then try and complain about them. It goes both ways. You insult me, I can insult you. We don't play those games. If you want to insult me and then act like I don't have any right to say anything back, wrong. Now, let me tell you this. This has nothing to do with trans or non-binary. It really doesn't. It has to do with refusing to do your job over words people use. Me, I don't care if you're non-binary. I don't care if you use they, them pronouns. As I've long stated, I usually use the pronouns of people when they ask. Like, I don't use neo pronouns. I'm not going to go like Ferber, Berber or whatever. But I don't care about they, them, she, her. We've had drag queens on the show. They say she, her. I say, I don't care. I don't. It has nothing to do with that. If you come to me and say, I would request you be respectful and refer to me as such. Me, I say, okay, I'll try to be respectful. This person is intentionally disrespecting the other people and then demanding special treatment. No dice. I'll leave it there. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you know. Become a member at timcast.com because we need you. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll see you all at Timcast IRL, and it'll be fun.